Mega Man X has a lot of Mavericks, and some of them are stupid. We already did a video like this on the Classic series with the stupidest Robot Master from every game, so today we're going over the stupidest Maverick from every Mega Man X game, X through X8. And leave a comment down below on who you think is the stupidest Maverick from each game, because surely what I say will get controversial, as you guys in the comments always say, so I want to hear what you have to say. Don't just criticize me. Mega Man X1, the first Mega Man X game ever made, has some of the most legendary and iconic Mavericks of all time, so choosing the stupidest from this game will probably be the hardest in this entire video. Just to be clear, my criteria for the stupidest has more to do with the practicality of the Maverick more than how much I like each Maverick. So just because a Maverick is my favorite does not mean it is not stupid. For example, when I did this video on the Classic series, I chose Cutman as the stupidest because he is a walking pair of scissors, and that's pretty dumb. I do like Cutman, and objectively he's not incredibly stupid, but when compared to every other Robot Master in that game, he's just the stupidest in a practical sense. I'm also going to be taking into account their attacking abilities, so even if they don't make sense outside of Mega Man X, I will still give them credit if they have a good arsenal to kill Mega Man X with. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get started. Like I said, all of these Mavericks are great and seem very useful, so I don't even know where to start. Storm Eagle is a fan favorite, and he can literally fly, which is not stupid at all. Not only could you hitch a ride on Storm Eagle instead of paying for a private jet, but he also seems like he would be good at combat, so he's not going to be the most stupid. Plus, if I said Storm Eagle was the stupidest Maverick, I think the Mega Man community would riot. Chill Penguin also isn't stupid because he has the power to create ice, which would be great for stopping global warming and climate change and all that stuff. Maybe he was just meant to work for the Arctic, which is a little bit more lame, but his ability to not only create ice but also make it snow would be very useful in today's day and age, so Chill Penguin is not stupid at all. Flame Mammoth is on the opposite side of the spectrum of powers because he's basically a walking flamethrower. This could be useful for controlled fires, or what's more likely considering his stage, incinerating garbage and stuff like that. Plus, even if he wasn't useful for those reasons, fire is pretty deadly, so he would be a good weapon, meaning he is not stupid. Spark Mandrill would be very useful for dealing with high voltage or dangerous electrical situations that a human being would have to risk their life for. At least I assume he would be good at that stuff because his name is Spark Mandrill and he attacks with electricity. I would also say he's good at killing Mega Man X because electricity in the wrong spots for robots is pretty deadly, but his weakness makes him pretty stupid. Luckily, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt with his electrician skills, so he is not the most stupid. Sting Chameleon might seem stupid and pointless at first because he's kind of weird and not the most deadly Maverick from this game, but he can turn invisible. This has limitless potential in real life scenarios like espionage missions, anime fan service episodes, and really anything requiring stealth. Sure, Sting Chameleon isn't the best when it comes to being useful, but having the ability to turn invisible is something every military in the world is interested in right now, so I can't call him stupid. You might also be thinking that Boomer Kawanger is stupid because he's just a bug and it doesn't seem like he has a lot of powers, but you would be mistaken because Boomer Kawanger can teleport. I'm not sure what the limits of this ability are because he's only in this one room, but if he's able to teleport longer ranges, then he has the potential to be the most useful Maverick in the entire game. We can only see him teleport at close range though, which is a little bit worse, but it's still useful for a lot of things, so it's not stupid. Plus, again, he's pretty good at killing Mega Man X, so he at least has that going for him. This leaves us with Launch Octopus and Armored Armadillo, two Mavericks that I genuinely like a lot, but one of these guys has to be the stupidest. Launch Octopus is just an octopus underwater, which seems dumb, and Armored Armadillo is just an armadillo with armor. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. But Launch Octopus can cause whirlpools underwater, which I'm sure has a pretty big impact on ocean life. I don't know how useful that is, but it's at least something. More importantly though, he also has literal missiles that work underwater and lock onto the target, if nothing else, is great in combat when killing Mega Man X. Armored Armadillo, on the other hand, just has his armor and is easy to knock off. He does have a gun in his forehead for some reason that shoots slowly moving lasers, but that's not really too impressive when compared to every other Maverick from this game. I love Armored Armadillo though. I think he's probably the cutest Maverick and I want a plush of him, but unfortunately he doesn't have much to offer in practicality. His best move is turning into a ball and jumping around the room. How is that useful? I'll tell you how. It's not. I'm sorry, Armored Armadillo, but you are the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X. Mega Man X2, the second entry into the Mega Man X franchise, is really the perfect sequel to a game like Mega Man X. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's better, but it certainly did not disappoint. But despite that, its Mavericks are undeniably stupider, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with Magna Centipede because a lot of people probably think this is the stupidest robot, but this guy is far from it. First of all, this guy has magnetic powers, which are always useful in general, but are extra useful when you have to fight robots, since, I don't know if you guys know this, but anything electronic hates magnets. If you don't believe me, try putting a magnet up to your phone or computer right now. Do it. Actually, don't do that. Seriously, it will break. Do not do that. That was a joke. Don't put magnets near anything electronic. Don't do it. I assume the robots in the Mega Man X universe are no exception to this, but even if they were, this guy can also literally give you a computer virus. One of his main attacks is to give X a computer virus that disables charge shots, disables rapid fire, decreases your dash distance, and even decreases your jump height. So Magna Centipede is no pushover and is certainly not the stupidest. Wheel Gator is a crocodile, and you might also think this guy is the stupidest, but he pilots a giant tank that actively destroys a city which you have to go through during his level. I mean, sure, he himself doesn't have many super powerful attacks that stand out, but if he has this big crocodile tank at his arsenal at any point, he could be a real problem for anyone to deal with, making him not the stupidest. Morph Moth is a butterfly and may once again also seem kind of stupid, but the lore in Mega Man X2 actually makes this guy super useful. Apparently the whole reason he's at a scrapyard is because he's able to create more Mavericks and robots in general from the junk. That's also why he starts off as a cocoon. He absorbs garbage until he's able to turn into the infamous Morph Moth. I mean, this is one of the most useful Mavericks we've seen so far. He's basically a repair guy. Plus, when he's in his butterfly form, he sprinkles angel dust on you, which I'm pretty sure is a drug. I'm not one for drugs, but I'm sure it has its uses in the medical field somehow, so this guy really isn't stupid. Flame Stag was one of my favorites as a kid, and he once again has fire powers. Except this guy's fire turns blue, which means it's extra hot. Since Flame Mammoth was useful practically, that means Flame Stag is too. Plus, he can climb walls and do a lot more with his fire, so there's no way in heck this guy is stupid. Crystal Snail is one of my least favorite Mavericks of all time, but I must admit, he's not stupid. He's stupid in my eyes because I hate him, but practically he's actually useful because he can slow down time or something. Honestly, I don't know what's going on during this attack, but whatever it is, it's pretty powerful, and there's no way a Maverick that can do this is stupid, as much as I hate him. Overdrive Ostrich can run very fast. I think that's pretty cool and not stupid. Sure, that's not the most useful Maverick on the planet, since if you want speed so bad, you could probably just get a fast car or something, but hey, maybe he would be good for running into a building and saving people. He's certainly not good at killing Mega Man X, since this is one of the easier boss fights from the game, so let's just go with that, because I mean, I can't call him stupid. Well, maybe stupid looking, but that doesn't count. This only leaves Bubble Crab and Wire Sponge, which is actually a pretty tough matchup when it comes to being stupid. You might instinctively think that Wire Sponge is the stupidest because, I mean, his name is Wire Sponge, and that alone is very stupid, but he's actually not that bad. First of all, he can use his vines like a grappling hook, which is always cool, and he can even summon lightning, so he can't be all that useless, whereas Bubble Crab makes bubbles underwater. Yes, he does have those sharp green things that come out of the top of his head, but come on guys, what did this guy do before he turned evil? This is the same situation as Bubble Man from Mega Man 2. I love this guy, but he's just stupid. And for the record, I initially was going to pick Wire Sponge off of instinct, but when I refought these bosses, I saw some potential in Wire Sponge that I had long forgotten about. So congratulations, Bubble Crab, you are the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X2. Mega Man X3 is one of my favorite Mega Man X games in the entire series, and honestly, it might be my #1 favorite, but I've noticed a lot of people don't like this game. I'm not sure why, but please let me know in the comments if you like Mega Man X3, because I don't want to be alone on this issue. We need justice for Mega Man X3. Back to the topic at hand though, let's start with Blizzard Buffalo, because he once again has ice powers, which we've talked about before. Now, we're already at a dilemma here, because as far as his boss fight goes, it's extremely stupid. He can't see you when you jump. What's stupider than that? He just headbutts the wall in frustration as you kill him. But practically, I think his ice powers would be of good use in parts of the world that need it, so this is a hard one, guys, but I'm gonna say Blizzard Buffalo himself is not stupid in concept or practicality, but his boss fight is, meaning Blizzard Buffalo has barely escaped, so you better thank me, Mr. Buffalo. I expect an invoice in the next few days. Gravity Beetle, on the other hand, is a more cut and dry case because this guy just isn't stupid. Sure, he's slow and mostly just hops around, but do you see that gravity attack thing he does? Once again, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm sure a scientist could get a lot of use out of that thing. I am not a scientist, so I can't exactly tell you why or how this thing would be useful, but I'm not dumb enough to call this guy stupid at the same time. Toxic Seahorse seems like a little bit stupid because he mostly just shoots acid balls at you, which is pretty deadly to be fair, but what makes this guy not stupid is the fact that he can liquefy and reconstruct his body at will. This is insane within itself, but according to the lore of Mega Man X3, he used this as a stealth tactic, and I can imagine that being super effective, so there's no way that Toxic Seahorse is stupid. Tunnel Rhino is pretty basic and medium, but he's obviously useful for making tunnels and mining and stuff. I mean, look at that big old drill he has for a horn. You can't tell me this guy is bad at making tunnels, and if you try, I'm just gonna delete your comment and then laugh at you. Tunnel Rhino obviously is not stupid, but what about Neon Tiger? I mean, this guy seems much more useless since he's mostly just a combat robot with claws and the ability to shoot things out of his tail. Well, according to the lore, he uses solar power, which is very environmentally friendly, and he's also a cunning hunter, which I think means he's not stupid. But more importantly, he looks the most like Garfield out of any Maverick ever, which is a huge advantage when it comes to making your opponents let their guard down. You might see Neon Tiger and go, oh wow, it's Garfield, that funny orange cat that hates Mondays. And then before you know it, he kills you, because it was actually Neon Tiger the whole time. Meaning Neon Tiger is not stupid. Volt Catfish looks stupid in a way that I really enjoy, but like I've said, we aren't counting looks in this video. But he's still not stupid. I mean, it's kind of stupid that he's based off of a catfish of all things, but he clearly has a lot of electrical power, meaning he's not only practically useful, but also straight up dangerous. I mean, he has those two things on the back of him that I would be scared to work on personally, because I think they might shock me and kill me. But even if they didn't, Volt Catfish will. When you use his weakness against him, he's a pushover, but if you let him do his thing, he really shows you how powerful his electric attacks can be, so don't sleep on Volt Catfish. He's not stupid. Crush Crawfish also is not stupid simply from a combat point of view. I mean, those crushing claws of his look very powerful and could probably crush a lot of things. But on top of that, and the main reason he is not stupid, are those weird orange things that he shoots out that slows you down and makes it much harder to dodge his attacks. In the game, he obviously does not kill you in one hit, but if we're being realistic here, he should be able to cut Mega Man X in half with those claw things, so I'm not calling him stupid because I am scared. This, of course, only leaves Blast Hornet, who's just a B. I mean, this guy is cool or whatever, but he's just a B. That's it. He's a B. I'm sure he has nice qualities outside of being a B, but he's not super powerful, he's not super useful, and to me, he seems stupid. So congratulations, Blast Hornet, you are the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X3. Mega Man X4 is the first Mega Man X game to be released on the PlayStation 1, which is already a stupid move. Jokes aside, this is still a fun game, and while I personally don't think it's as good as the original trilogy, I always have a good time playing it. But one of the Mavericks will not have a good time because I'm going to call them stupid in this video in front of thousands of people. But who will it be? Well, not Frost Walrus, because we've been over this whole ice power thing a few times now, and I think Frost Walrus has some ice powers, right? So he's not the stupidest automatically. Magma Dragoon also has fire powers, which makes him not stupid for the same reason, but this guy is extra not stupid because he uses Tekken moves in his boss fight, and that's just cool. It also means he would probably be good at fighting games and would be a great esports coach in real life, so he's really far away from being stupid. Slash Beast might seem like he's stupid because he doesn't have much practical use outside of combat, but this guy was clearly designed to be a warrior, and he does that pretty well. I mean, some of these guys have to be combat only, and I think Slash Beast does a great job of that. Sure, he's a little bit basic and doesn't have any super overpowered attacks, but I wouldn't call this guy stupid. That's a little bit harsh. Jet Stingray is one of the most versatile robots I've ever seen, being able to both fly and swim at high speeds. This is useful for a ton of reasons. Do you need a ride in the sky? This guy has you covered. Oh, your boat broke down? Jet Stingray has you covered. Plus, simply having the ability to switch between water and air would make this guy useful in a ton of niche situations that no other Maverick would be able to handle, so there's not any way this guy would be the stupidest. Cyber Peacock is a really interesting Maverick. According to the lore, he was originally designed as an AI to stop hackers from attacking cyberspace, which obviously is useful and makes him not stupid. Plus, I'm pretty sure Cyber Peacock is a femboy, so I'm not calling him stupid. At least that's what someone in my comment section told me once, and the comments on YouTube are never wrong, so... Well, unless I disagree, of course, in which case, Split Mushroom is a fun guy, and he might seem stupid because he is a mushroom, but he uses mushroom powers to his advantage by making you hallucinate multiple psychedelic call it, clones of himself. This would be very disorienting in a battle, making him practically useful. He might seem stupid, but he's at least not the most stupid. Now, Storm Owl, on the other hand, is just stupider Storm Eagle, but he still barely manages to not be the absolute stupidest. Because first of all, he can still make tornadoes, and those are pretty powerful, so I gotta give him credit where credit is due. Plus, I think he's a pilot or something. He's definitely a military general of some type, but I think he's also piloting that big ship that his level is in, but I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that. I guess he has wings, so it would be stupid if he was a pilot, but anyway. He also has attacks that lock onto the target, so combat-wise, he is not the stupidest. That honor would have to go to Web Spider, who is just a spider. Now, I hate spiders, so you might think I'm being biased. And well, maybe I am, but this guy doesn't do anything that a normal spider wouldn't already do. He's just a weird, creepy robot spider. He makes webs, he makes more spiders. This guy sucks. I have no idea what the practical use for this guy could be in combat. He still sucks and is stupid, so yeah. Take that, Web Spider. You are the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X4. We've gone over the first Legacy Collection, which means it's time to go over the second Legacy Collection. Obviously. But what's concerning about this is that this is considered to be the stupider Legacy Collection versus the other one, with stupider games and stupider Mavericks. The reason this is concerning is because some of these Mavericks have already been very stupid. You've been watching the video, right? You agree? Mega Man X5 is where the Mavericks really start to trend badly. I still enjoy playing Mega Man X5 and I don't hate any of these Mavericks, but to me it seems like this is where a big drop in quality starts to show up. First of all, let's start with Spiral Pegasus, or the Skyver as some people like to call him. I hate this guy in general, but I don't think he's the stupidest just because he can fly, which is something we've previously established as not stupid. On top of that, he's also able to make tornadoes, which is another common trend with these Mavericks. Is this guy a lame Maverick? Yes, I would say so. But is he stupid? No. Well, at least not the stupidest from this game. Duff McWhalen is a giant whale with weird fake eyeballs on his forehead and weird real eyeballs on the side. This is a discussion we've had before in another video, but I just felt like bringing it up again in case anybody forgot. Those green things are not his eyes. His eyes are right there, you can see them. Anyway, this guy makes ice stuff once again, so in case anyone forgot, this is a practically useful ability, especially since he's underwater. There's an episode in Futurama where they fixed global warming by dropping a giant ice cube into the ocean, and I think Duff McWhalen could single-handedly do a great job at that, so he's not stupid. Now, Axel the Red, on the other hand, is fairly stupid, but I wouldn't say he's the stupidest. Like Woodman and some of the other robot masters from the classic series, I feel like this guy could help out in wildlife preservations or just in nature settings in general because he's a plant-based robot. I'm not sure if those plant attacks actually use real organic matter or are just metal, but if he uses any type of organic matter or has the ability to plant things, and I'd say he's not stupid. But this could be up to review in the future, so I guess we'll see. Grizzly Slash is a giant bear that has very flashy attacks, but once again, I think this is just another Maverick that would be very useful in the mines and in combat. I don't know how many mining robots you really need to get things done, but I can't really call this guy stupid when he shows off his mining skills in his boss fight. I mean, he's better than Dream. Matrix is another fire robot. So, yeah, as lame as this guy is, he's not stupid. Squid Adler is a Maverick that I hate with a passion. I hate his stage, I hate his boss fights, and I just hate him in general. But unfortunately, he's not that stupid because he uses electrical attacks, and that's gotta be useful. I do hate this guy, but he's not the stupidest Maverick from this game. Unless we're talking about from a game design perspective, but we haven't been doing that to all videos, so it wouldn't be fair to suddenly do that now. Easy Glow is who I initially was going to call the stupidest, but it turns out, according to the literal Mega Man X5 lore, he is a genius, a doctor, and an engineer, so I guess he's literally not stupid. It is stupid that he's so smart but still manages to have one of the easiest and most underwhelming battles in the game, but that doesn't matter in the real world, so he's somehow not the stupidest despite just being a Firefly, meaning the stupidest Maverick is Dark Necrobat. I mean, this guy is alright, but he doesn't do anything fantastic, and he's just a vampire. That's not very useful. I mean, you could use him in a haunted house or something, but that's about it. In fact, in the lore, apparently Sigma created this guy, he escaped, and then Sigma was like, whatever, that guy's not important. That's literally Dark Necrobat's backstory, which means even Sigma thinks he's stupid. And who am I to disagree with Sigma? So congratulations, Dark Necrobat, you are the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X5. Mega Man X6 is widely considered to be the worst game in the entire X series, but you know what? I actually kind of enjoy this game. It's at least better than X7 and X8, but we can get into that another day. For now, we need to find its stupidest Maverick. First of all, we already know Blizzard Wolfang is not stupid because he has ice powers, and we've been over this a million times. We also know that Blaze Heatnix isn't stupid because he has fire powers, and we've also been over this a million times. Rainy Turtleoid, on the other hand, isn't stupid for interesting reasons. He can literally make it rain, which would be extremely helpful in many parts of the world. Nowhere would have a drought ever again, and if it's clean water that's drinkable, that would be super nice. On top of that, he's giant and has a lot of attacks, so this guy isn't stupid in any capacity. Well, except maybe his looks, but that doesn't count. Infinity Majinion is tiny and weird, but apparently he is a weapons expert. I don't think you can be stupid and an expert at weapons. You can certainly be stupid and use weapons, but a stupid weapons expert? That can't be right, so there's no way he's the stupidest. Metal Shark player is also literally a mad scientist according to the lore, so he's not stupid either. I guess we just have a class of scholars for the Mega Man X6 Mavericks because this is getting ridiculous. Shield Sheldon, on the other hand, is just a bodyguard according to the lore, so maybe he's stupid. I mean, he has shields, that could be useful, but it depends on how strong they are. Obviously, the X-Buster and the Z-Saber can't really break these shields, but I need some more lore to tell me how strong these shields really are. Are they like that one jutsu in Naruto where they can block tailed beast bombs? If that's the case, this guy isn't stupid at all. But if the only thing they can block are Zero's sword and certain laser guns, then I don't know, it could be close. Either way, I guess he is at least useful as a bodyguard, so he is not the stupidest. Ground Scarvich, on the other hand, is much stupider. He is just a dung beetle, and his attacks represent that pretty well. That giant rock he pushes around is probably his own robot poop, which is disgusting. But his strengths apparently lie in his research on ancient robots. It's allegedly the entire reason he was revived by Gate, meaning if he didn't have this information, he would be useless, so I guess he isn't that stupid. This only leaves Commander Yamark, who I love as a Maverick, and you're probably wondering how this guy is more stupid than Ground Scarvich, and let me tell you, it's all in the lore. If I didn't know about this, I probably would have thought that Ground Scarvich was the stupid, but listen to this. Apparently, Commander Yamark accidentally set fire and burned a large portion of a forest due to control disaster. And if that wasn't stupid enough, the way he died before Gates resurrected him was due to someone sabotaging his flight system, leading him to crash and die. This guy is just a mess and clearly the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X6. Mega Man X7. We all love that game, right guys? Isn't that a funny joke? Now let's address the elephant in the room. We all hate Flame Hyenard because he's annoying and we hate hearing him speak. But he's not the stupidest Maverick because he once again uses fire powers, which we've talked about many times. He can also apparently clone himself, which is annoying because one of this guy is already too much. But honestly, his annoying personality is a great battle strategy too. If I had to fight this guy in real life, I would just jump in the lava. He's so annoying, so this guy is not the stupidest Maverick, but I still hate him, and I know you do too. Splash Warfly also is not the stupidest, even though I also hate him, but it's because he has water powers, and like I've been saying, these powers would be very useful in certain parts of the world. Snipe Anteater looks a little bit stupid, but he also looks like he would be smart, which the lore backs up. Apparently, he's a technology specialist, and his skills in interfering with cyberspace are unmatched. I think that means he's smart, so I cannot call him the stupidest Maverick either. Soldier Stone Kong doesn't have much outside of combat, but I think he's an honorable warrior. And I also established at the beginning of the video that combat Mavericks are not stupid as long as they're good at what they do, and I think Soldier Stone Kong is. Am I just saying that because I like monkeys? Possibly, but I'm not calling him the stupidest Maverick, so it doesn't matter. Ride Borsky might be pretty stupid canonically, but you could ride this guy like a motorcycle and go pretty fast, so he's not completely useless. Plus, you wouldn't even have to pay for gas. I don't know how this guy is powered, but I doubt he needs to be plugged in and charged, so he's not the stupidest despite potentially being stupid in the game. Wind Crowwang is just another bird Maverick that can fly pretty fast, so much like Ride Borsky, you could always ride this guy around for a quick trip, meaning he's not the stupidest either. Now, Tornado Tunyon is probably most likely to be the stupidest, but it turns out he isn't that stupid. Sure, he's an onion, but he's an onion that is able to produce tornadoes first of all, and it's really starting to get weird how many Mavericks can do that, but anyway, once again, we're going to the lore here, because he was one of the only Mavericks that knew he was being manipulated, and you gotta be smart to know that, at least when compared to all the other Mavericks who did not know they were being manipulated, so he's not the stupidest, somehow. I don't know how, but somehow he's not the stupidest, according to the lore. Meaning the actual stupidest Maverick is Vanishing Gungaroo, and this guy is stupid for every reason in the book. First of all, the lore refers to him as a man-child, which is already a horrible start. But also, all he does is pilot a mech, something that most robots in this universe seem to be able to do. I mean, you do it in his level. You might be thinking, oh, well, he can vanish, right? And that's useful. But nope, that's just in his name. There is no evidence of him actually turning invisible, which is both annoying and stupid. I already hated Vanishing Gungaroo, but I guess it's Mega Man X7, so most of these Mavericks suck in all honesty. But Vanishing Gungaroo in particular is really stupid, so congratulations, Vanishing Gungaroo. You are the stupidest Maverick for Mega Man X7. Mega Man X8 is another Mega Man X game that I don't particularly enjoy, but for some reason people love this game. I don't really get it, but I'll eventually review the X series and elaborate further. For now, let's look at the Mavericks. Avalanche Yeti is obviously not stupid because he's once again another Ice Maverick, which is useful, and Burn Rooster is also not stupid because he is a Fire Maverick, which is what's the word? Oh yeah, not stupid. Bamboo Pandemonium did a lot of useful things in the lore, but more importantly, it's a giant panda that can shoot missiles and summon giant pillars of spikes. Regardless of lore, this is definitely a great combat robot despite everything, and I don't think he's very stupid. Dark Mantis is also not stupid because he's practically a ninja. He can see in the dark, and he used darkness to his advantage when going through his assassinations, which was his job, much like a ninja. So it's safe to say he's not very stupid. Gravity Antonian has a stupid large badonkadonk, but he's literally a genius scientist, so he can't be stupid according to the lore. Gigabolt Man-O-War was apparently a maintenance man who worked on a power grid for a big city, which is pretty useful in a practical sense. I mean, he might not be the smartest Maverick, but he already has a real-life practical use. He also uses electricity in his attacks, which is probably pretty effective against robots, as we've discussed already. This guy would be great for operating on dangerous sites or on anything that would electrocute and kill a human being, so this guy is not stupid at all. One of the most practically useful Mavericks we've had in a while, actually. Congratulations, Gigabolt Man-O-War. Earthrock Trilobite isn't especially smart according to the lore, and he has a pretty lame fight, but once again, he's useful because he managed a large mine that had valuable resources. I mean, that's a pretty weak argument for not being the stupidest, admittedly, but just wait until you see the actual stupidest Maverick, which is, of course, Optic Sunflower. Yeah, this guy is just a sunflower like from Plants vs. Zombies, except as far as I'm aware, he can't even use photosynthesis, so what's the point? His fight is lackluster and he's not very powerful, plus his only job as a Maverick was running that weird training center, which anyone would be able to do, so yeah, Optic Sunflower has the least accolades and is easily the stupidest Maverick from Mega Man X8. Those were the stupidest Mavericks from every Mega Man game, X through X8. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope your favorite Maverick was not on this list. And if it was, that's okay. Some of mine were too, but they're still stupid. Luckily, I've already made videos on the best and worst Mavericks, so, you know, you could always watch those videos. Why wouldn't you? Go watch them. What are you doing? Get out of here.